Hi, everybody, and happy Mother's Day to you mothers out there. I sure hope that somebody is spoiling you today because you deserve it. Welcome to Online Church. What we're trying to do here, of course, is not what we normally do, but we're getting used to it, and I'm hoping that it's helpful to you. Make sure that you're sharing it, and if you would like our page, that would be awesome. Also, check out our YouTube page. There's a lot of content that we're trying to put on there for you. We also want to say, if you need anything from us, please let us know. If you need somebody to deliver some groceries for you, or if you even just need somebody to talk to, feel free to call the church or reach out by email. We would love to have a chat with you. We want to thank everyone who's going over and above and beyond their duty to take care of everyone else during this time. Our essential workers, you're awesome, and we want to know that we want you to know that we appreciate you. God bless you. I hope that you enjoy yourself today and have a great and awesome day. By the way, there's something special also for your moms this afternoon, so stay tuned. We have a special presentation from Joanne Goodwin this afternoon for you after the sermon. God bless.
send it my way. When sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my loss, thou hast taught me to soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
My name is Sarah, and I'm super excited to share with you on Mother's Day. I want to just take a couple minutes and share with you a little bit about myself. My husband and I have been married for about 16 years this coming September. We have 4 beautiful children, ages 11, 10, 8, and 6. I work as an educational assistant in one of our local high schools, and I typically help out around the church with whatever's going on, whether children's or women's ministry. As you can see, we have a very busy life. Our home is not often very quiet unless people are sleeping. That's my favorite time of day. Sometimes I've had people say to me, "How do you guys do it with your kids and your husbands? You guys are so busy, but you have it all together. And you guys are all so sweet." We do have it pretty good, but we are not perfect by any means. I drink a lot of coffee. I don't know about your family, but during our quarantine time together, we have shown some of our true colors, some good and some not so great. Mothers are not all the same. We all do things a little differently. But one thing holds true. As good mothers, we want to take care of those around us. We want the best for our children. We make sure our family is fed, they look good when they go out, we have a clean house, we take care of the laundry. Not to say that men don't do these things, because my husband does. But today we're talking about moms. Our moms give some great advice. They pass down some really amazing phrases like, "You are what you eat," or my mom always said, "You look like a ragamuffin." Or maybe your mom gave you an amazing recipe. There's so much that we can learn from our moms. Now, I know not everyone is a mother, and I've had many ladies impact my life who were not mothers. So even if you're not a mom today, don't tune out. There's something for everyone today. Today we're going to look at 2 different mothers who experienced some very difficult situations, but showed care and faith, love and advice. Those are 4 main words that we're going to look at throughout our whole message today. I know that we're all feeling a little bit strange these days, and you're not alone in this. For the past couple of weeks, we have been in a series titled Unshakable. Our bottom line for this series is that I really want you to have this sink into your hearts is that when the world around you is unstable, your identity in Jesus is unshakable. Pastor Jason kicked us off by teaching us about how important your identity is, that your identity, how you see yourself, affects how you live life. Pastor Clayton shared, if you are a follower of Jesus, you are adopted into God's family. You are God's child. This past week, Pastor Tony spoke about that we are transformed by the renewing of our minds, that we are a product of our thoughts, and what we think about ourselves influences our actions. If you missed any of these great messages, you can check them out online on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel at Clearview Community Church. If you have a Bible, I want to encourage you right now, go grab it, or if you have your smartphone, go pick it up. We're going to be heading to the book of Exodus, which is found in the Old Testament. It's actually the 2nd book of the Bible. And the first mom that we're going to look at is the mother of Moses. Her name was, you probably haven't heard it before, Jochebed. Her name is only mentioned twice in the whole entirety of this story. Her name is mentioned in Exodus 6:20, in a list of the ancestors of the clans of Israel, and in Numbers in 26:59. And again, this is listing out the tribe of Levi. This is their family history, their family tree, if you want to say. But she plays a very key role in the life of not only her own children, but in the whole nation of Israel. Her story begins in Exodus 2:1 and 2. About this time, a man and a woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son, and she saw that he was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. See, during this time, the Pharaoh found that the Israelites were getting very large in number, and he didn't like that. That scared him. He did not want anything to happen to the Egyptian family. So he made a law that they were not allowed to have these children. So that's why Jochebed was trying to hide Moses, because she wasn't supposed to have him. But at 3 months old, she decided she couldn't hide him any longer. So she took a basket and she waterproofed it and she put him in the Nile River. But Moses' sister watched. She watched the basket and where the basket was going to go, because she was concerned too. As she watched the basket go, it went to right to where the Pharaoh's daughter was. And the Pharaoh's daughter finds the baby and she takes pity on him and she picks him up. And as she talks to her maidservants, and Miriam actually goes over and talks to the princess, which is pretty brave to do. She said, you know what, I'll go and I'll find somebody to nurse the baby, which was Jochebed. In verse 10, we pick it up and it says, later he was brought back to the princess, who names him Moses, because she lifted him out of the water. Jochebed saw that she had a special child. She would have been fearful as she was breaking the law by keeping her son. She was an Israelite woman in a foreign land, but she knew that even though the world around her was unstable, she held firm, and she was fearless, and she was bold, and she was brave. By her action in placing her baby in the basket in the river, her faith in the face of fear was instrumental in God's great plan in delivering the nation of Israel. I have never had to keep my baby a secret, and I don't know what that would be like. I can't even imagine what that would be like. I want us to focus on this as people who are influencers of children. We may not see God's great plan. We may not see the outcome for each child. We may not be able to control every situation that comes up in life, but we can control our response in the times of adversity. When we don't feel that we're good enough, when I feel like I'm not smart enough or strong enough, when I can't seem to connect all the dots, or when I'm trying to homeschool my kids during COVID-19 and I feel so overwhelmed. See, like Jochebed, I need to put my faith in God. I know that He knows the outcome, and I don't need to. And when I do that, it takes great pressure off of me. I can breathe a sigh of relief. See, God is bigger. God is stronger. There's nothing that He can't handle. God sees the big picture. God knew what was going to take place with Moses. It was no surprise to Him. Even though Jochebed didn't know, she found her stability in God. She knew that God loved and cared for her, so she put her faith in Him, and she trusted that the same God who cared for her baby. So when I worry about my children, how they're going to grow up, what they're going to do, am I doing a good job? Am I putting too much, when I'm putting all this pressure upon myself, I need to remember that God's plan for those children are greater than mine. And the greatest thing that you can instill in the hearts of the little ones around you is to trust and to put their faith in God. Our second story, you can find it in the book of Ruth, in the first chapter. Naomi is the mother-in-law of Ruth. I'm just going to tell you the story of Naomi. And I'm going to kind of paraphrase it a little bit because it's a little bit lengthy. See, Naomi and her family, they moved to Moab, where her two sons married these Moabite women. Later in the story, we see that Naomi's husband dies. Then 10 years later, both of her sons die. It's a really sad story to tell on Mother's Day. Naomi tells the girls, you know what? Go back home to your own families. Don't stay with me. I'm going to Bethlehem, and you girls go home. The one daughter-in-law goes, but the other one, Ruth, she stays. And this is where we pick up our story. In Ruth 1:16, says, but Ruth replied, don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us. When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she said nothing more. I love this passage. Ruth's declaration to her mother-in-law, I will go where you go. I will live where you live. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die. Throughout this whole time, Naomi must have shared her faith in God with Ruth. For Ruth to make a declaration like this, these two women had been through a lot together. Losing a spouse, losing a child, these circumstances are overwhelming. And I'm sure that Naomi would have shown genuine openness during this broken time, sharing her faith in God with Ruth. If you have ever been through a tragic event such as this, you know that there's kind of two ways that you could go. You can either push people away or you draw those around you close to you. As you continue to read through this story, you can see how Naomi shares her motherly advice with Ruth. It's like mentorship. She's an older, mature woman instilling wisdom and knowledge into the life of the younger woman. In the midst of her unfortunate situation, she chooses to love and advise this girl, even when she couldn't see beyond her own situation. If you read on in the story, you see that Naomi is really pushing herself to take Ruth with her. She's very upset over her situation. In verse 19, as they arrive in Bethlehem, the people are super excited that Naomi is back in town. As we read on, she says to them in verse 21, "Don't call me Naomi," she responded. "Instead, call me Mara, for the Almighty has made my life very bitter to me. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me home empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has caused me to suffer and the Almighty has sent such tragedy upon me?" See, Naomi went through a lot, and I'm sure there's someone watching today that can relate. Life was full, life was going great, and then something changed, something happened. Maybe it's been this COVID-19 situation. Maybe it was a marriage problem, or maybe a job loss, maybe even a loss of a loved one. But I want you to understand, out of our different life experiences, both positive and negative, God can use you to pour into the life of someone around you. If you are a follower of Jesus, it is so important that we look for someone that we can walk through this life with. We are not meant to do this journey by ourselves. God has brought you through situations. God has brought you to where you are now, not only for your benefit, but for the benefit of those around you. You see, we can see mentorship all throughout the Bible, with Moses and Joshua, Elijah and Elisha, Elizabeth and Mary, Jesus and the disciples, Paul and Timothy. The Apostle Paul, some of you may know him as St. Paul, when writing to his apprentice Timothy, says in 2 Timothy 2:2, "The things which you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust these to faithful men who will be able to teach others also." See, Paul expected Timothy to instill the truths into the lives of those around him. In Proverbs 27:17, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Naomi experienced both good times and tragic moments, these experiences that she shares with Ruth. In my own life, I experienced a lot of different things. I've had my fair share of ups and downs. I grew up in a really great family. My mom and dad always supported me in my sports and in arts. My mom even allowed me to paint my walls, whatever I wanted to draw on them. I got married to an amazing man who is very encouraging and loves and cares for me and our family. I have outstanding children that are watching right now. I love you guys. And I love my job when I'm able to work. But I've also had my downs. I've experienced a lot of death in my time. From family members passing away to school friends. My dad died when I was 13, and Jason and I lost our very first baby to a miscarriage. These last two were the toughest events for me. They each carried their own weight, and they took a while to move past. Now, I don't forget about these things, but I move forward in them. These experiences that I have had have given me an opportunity to pour into the lives of those around me from my own experiences. Now, see, my experiences, they don't define who I am, and I don't want to live in the past. I don't want to continue in that pain, and I don't want to try to relive my past joys. See, Jesus is always bringing us forward into new things. If Naomi chose to simply rely on her emotions, she would have stayed in Moab because she felt awful. Could God use her still in Moab? Sure. Could she still have spoken into Ruth's life? Maybe. But there was something that God was calling her into. As a mom for the past 12 years and a wife for almost 16, I have felt a variety of emotions. I've been really excited and happy. I've been really mad and frustrated, disappointed and alone. I've been fearful. I've been brave, exhausted, and restless, and I've been sad. Some days everything is fine, but I cry. Ask my husband. I cry at nothing and for no reason. My emotions are not always dependable. And that is true for all of us. Our feelings are not dependable. People will say, well, just follow your feelings, follow your heart. But if I follow my feelings, they often will lead me astray. My feelings are not always right. And I don't find my identity in my life circumstances. My life circumstances are not always stable. I want you to get this today. Jesus is my stability. He is my strength when I'm weak. When I feel like I'm running in circles and I have no purpose. When the world around me is feeling shaky, I know that I am loved by God. My identity in Jesus is unshakable. Today I've shared two different stories of women, two very different situations. Jochebed, who in uncertain times made a bold move by placing her baby, whom she cared for, in the river. She placed her faith in God. And Naomi, who in a tragic situation moved beyond her situation to love and mentor her daughter-in-law. For everyone listening today, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know your life story. However, I know that there's a God who loves you and cares for you. A God who wants nothing more than to be in a relationship with you. A God who can take anyone from any situation, from any past, and use them to pour into the lives of those around you. For the ladies listening, you may not be a mother, but please hear me. Many of you have a mother's heart, and God wants to use you as influencers in the lives of those you are in contact with. Today, I want you to hold on to these truths, that life is full of twists and turns, and life can be difficult. But your identity, your self-worth, your confidence, what you think about yourself comes from God, the Creator. He created you, He loves you, and He cares for you. Remember, when the world around you is unstable, your identity in Jesus is unshakable. I would like to pray for you now today. Lord God, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for all your love for us. Lord, we thank you that we could hear about your, just the way you move and work in each one of our lives. Lord God, we know everybody's situation is different. We know that everybody's life is different. Everybody's family is different. Lord God, but we know that you move and work in each one of them. Lord God, I pray that as we're here today, Lord God, that these words would just speak into our lives. They would speak life and hope. Lord God, maybe we're here and we're like Jochebed, who in present circumstances, she didn't know what was going on or what was going to happen, but she chose to put her faith in you. Lord God, I pray that if we are one of those kind of people that we're unsure of what's happening, that we would choose to put our faith in you. Or maybe we're like Naomi and we're in just a crazy situation that feels out of control. Lord God, I pray that we would just put our faith and our love in you, and that we would be able to move beyond that situation. Lord God, that we would see opportunities to be able to speak life into those around us. Lord God, we just thank you for today, and we thank you for your blessings. Amen.
Brother, lay your head down. Sister, don't you know? Ain't no rest in worry. Troubles come, troubles go. I have seen a sparrow, I have watched her fly. No, she does not worry. Tell me, why should I? Hold on, love, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better, I know it's hard. Hold on, love, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better, I know they are. Do 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 do. I have seen the lily dancing with the wind, open to the sunshine, open to the rain, dressed in all her beauty, giving what she needs. If I listen closely, I can hear her sing to me. Hold on, love, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better, I know it's hard. Hold on, love, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better, I know they are. Hold on, love, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better, I know it's hard. Hold on, love, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better,